I'll tell you what, though. I've been listening to some of Beyonce's album, the new album, the country one. And everyone has what feels like a lot of feelings. Like some people are like, this isn't country. Some people are like, what a beautiful country album. You know, so. And some people are just interested in it because they feel like someone as big as Beyonce making a country album brings people back to at least some semblance of the history of like black origins within country music, right? Because and I don't expect everyone to know. I didn't know. My friend was telling me all of this stuff. I didn't just know this offhand. My friend was telling me that a lot of the instruments that come from early country, because like a lot of country comes from bluegrass, and so some of those bluegrass instruments were instruments that slaves made, right? Because they already had origins in West Africa. Things like the banjo, which were initially made with like gourds, stuff like that, like things that would later become the banjo, things that would become the fiddle, things that would become the tambourine, that were infused in this bluegrass that became this country music. Also, while a lot of the chanting from spirituals ended up as like choral elements and lyrics in some early country songs, and I thought that was so interesting. It's like weirdly buried because everything has to be such a binary for us. This is either black music or white music or anything, and I think people's contributions sometimes get diminished because of that. And then some people were talking about how it's important for Beyonce to make a country album because it is an overshadowing experience of a black person doing country that opens door for more black people who were already doing country, right? And that there's been some resistance to that, which a part of me does kind of get. Like if you're in country and you see Beyonce coming, wouldn't you be like, we have to stop this? This can't, come on. Don't, please. Yeah, I mean, something seems like super white, and then a black person comes and they're like very talented in it, you know? You let Tiger play a little bit of golf. And not only did he win all the titles, he banged all of your women. Tiger alone, and then you see Beyonce coming and like, can I have nothing? So yeah, that's where the resistance is coming from. You know. But that's why I find so fascinating about the origins of a lot of music in America. So much of that music comes originally in some aspect from slavery, whether it's like blues, country, you know, there are rock elements, there are jazz elements. It's amazing that this horrific thing, this really horrible thing, what the people that it happened to turned it into is some of the most beautiful things that we have. I think that's incredible. I really do. I actually think about it a lot because I don't think that everyone would be able to do that. Like, what if the roles were reversed? What would the white spirituals be? Because we can't take this lightly. We cannot take this lightly. I know I've used the word already in the set, but slavery was an abomination of humanity. No person should ever be able to treat another person this way. And out of all of these horrors came some of the most beautiful things that we've ever heard. Even if just down connecting the lines, connecting the dots to a person that's alive now. They have this music because this thing happened and someone made something beautiful out of it. But what if it was reversed? What if there were whites in the fields tilling the earth under the hot sun? which is not kind to white backs. And as they are tilling this earth, they're trying to find something in all of this devastating trauma to exhale their hurt in as beautiful way as possible, to build community among themselves. And they're tilling the earth as hard as they can, right? And then in the distance you hear, just a small town girl. Slave Master Jamal comes out. What's that bullshit I hear? Yo, everybody get back to work, for real. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. I think that one very, very important thing that we have to do as people, like as a country, to move forward is I think we have to genuinely decide who needs to be in jail. Do you know what I mean? Because this is my thing. We can all agree that you do need jail. Like we've all met someone that was like, this feels like jail behavior. I don't want to risk running into this in traffic. I need you out over here, right? So we all have an understanding of the purpose of jail, but we don't seem to agree on everything that someone should go to jail for. But there are some baseline things that we all agree someone should go to jail for. But then people do those things and then they don't go to jail. And then people do other things. Things that we say are very bad. Things that we say you should go to jail for. And then they go to jail. And then we do change the law while they're in jail. Like I think about everybody who, was in jail for weed possession in states where weed is currently legal. They went to jail. And I understand that they broke the law. But they went to jail. And then we decided, as people, because it's something that had to be voted on, that, no, this thing shouldn't be illegal. And then they're sitting in jail like, so... what about me? Oh, no? Okay, I'll stay. Wow. Like, I had a friend who went to jail for, weed possession, right? And he did have a lot. He had quite a bit on him. He had, I'll call it an entrepreneurial amount. They popped his trunk and they were like, oh, you're a businessman. Oh. And he went to jail and he said one of the craziest experiences was that when he got out and his friend came pick him up and they were driving away from the jail, one of the closest things built near the jail was a dispensary. And so he's like, maybe they're hiring. Because we all know people, in theory, who should be in jail and aren't. You know what I mean? We've all worked with somebody who we know is crazy. Somebody who is like, if anybody gonna shoot up the job, it's gonna be him. And we all know, people in different departments are like, have you met him? Stay away. Don't make eye contact. He crazy, right? Then you go home, you watching Hulu documentaries about true crime and stuff, and then you watching a documentary like, that's everything Kevin do. I guess we just have to wait for him to do something jail-worthy, but all the general habits he does have. You know, I had my own experience. I was at a diner, and I was eating, truly minding my own business, and then there was this guy sitting across from me, and the guy sitting across from me got his meal, and he had soup, and I want to be clear, he had a spoon. That's very important. Everything I say next is unnecessary because he had soup and he had a spoon, all right? Everything required, soup and a spoon, he had it. God gave him everything he needed in this situation, a soup and a spoon to go with the soup. And rather than using the spoon like any normal, maybe tax-paying citizen, this man grabbed 2 forks, shoved them together, dipped them in the soup, lifted it up slightly, and was slurping it while maintaining eye contact with me. And as he did, I was like, lock his ass up. If he doing this, he doing something else. It was crazy as hell.
Hey friends, I was actually off the road last weekend, so we're still dropping an unreleased set, but stay tuned afterwards because I'm going to be answering some of your questions from the internet. And if you have other questions that I don't get to, you can drop them in the comments. And if you have any questions at all, just keep being cool to each other. See you in a bit.
I've also been obsessing over that lady on TikTok who was digging in her yard and found that rug. Like, in case you didn't see this, there's a woman that was on TikTok, right? And this will be important later, but she's white, all right? And basically, she was making TikToks for like her fans and her friends and stuff. And in one of her TikToks, she comes onto the TikTok and she's like, y'all, I think my house is haunted. Okay? And then she starts giving her reason, and she does a little tour of her office where all these things are moved that aren't supposed to be moved. She's like, I'm the only one that comes in here, and this is here, and it's usually up here, and then this is moved over here. And then when I opened my laptop, the laptop was like cracked from the inside. Like and you could see it. It was like corrupt, like it looked like ink had been spilled. It was so shattered on the inside, right? And she was like, I don't know. I think I have a ghost. And in my head, I'm watching this, and I'm just sort of pulling from life experience. I'm just kind of like, you ain't ever been robbed before? Like, and so then, another TikTok she makes after that is she's digging in her yard. I think they're moving a fence or something, and then they hit something, and then they look at what they hit, and it's like this rug that's been buried underground, right? And it's a thick rug too. And then she's like, making a TikTok being like, isn't this weird? And I was like, that's a body. That's clearly a body, okay? And then this is the thing. When it comes to every person has different speeds that they operate at, right? You catch them on one day, they might react to you a certain way, another day a certain way. But some people do have like defaults, right? So one thing that's happened in the last like 4 years especially is that anytime a white woman's talking, we jump to Karen pretty quick, right? Like, there's Karens out there, but then sometimes someone will just have a menu and be like, does this one have gluten? And we're like, Karen! Like, that's... It's appropriate when it's appropriate, it's not appropriate when it's not appropriate, right? But for everything, there is its opposite, okay? And I think that for for us, we do need to start talking about the complete opposite, because we all know this person. We all know the white woman who doesn't want to make a big deal out of anything. We've all met this person. She could literally be on fire. And she's like, y'all, I'm just warm. Like, no. You are in danger, Bethany. Let us help you. You know what I mean? Like, she could call you. She could call you in the middle of a robbery. She's at the bodega. It's getting robbed right now. And she calling you being like, oh, no, I don't want to bother her. Just if you get around to dialing those, like, 3 numbers, it would be really helpful. And this is who we have on our hands in this situation, because I'm not the only one, right? I see the thing and I'm like, that's a body. And then everyone else in the comments is like, girl, that's a body. And this is the thing about internet comments in general, right? At best, almost all the time, random comments on the internet are at least not helpful. They're at least not doing anything for you when you read them, or when you posted them, they're not actually good feedback. Yeah, I mean, like, it happens a lot, especially because the internet's just out for everybody, you know? Especially on a place like TikTok. People stumble onto your stuff and then they just comment on it, whatever they think. It might have nothing to do with what you're talking about, you know? Like, as an example, years ago, I bought some nunchucks. And I was watching a tutorial on how to nunchuck. And the dude's tutorial was good. He wasn't hitting himself at all. He would do exactly what he was doing, right? But then I went down to the comments to see if it was as helpful to other people as it was to me. And none of the comments had anything to do with nunchuck. The top comment was like, support the troops. And it's like, sure, but how'd you get that from this? So for all of her comments to be like, girl, that's a body, I think you should listen. You know? She made another TikTok where she was like, another really weird thing that happened was that my stepson was like going to bed and he went to plug in his phone. And when he woke up in the morning, instead of the phone being on 100%, it was on 3%. And you know how ghosts can suck up energy? I'm like, no, we're past this. It's a body. And once again, she was doing that white woman thing, trying to not make a big deal. Because, guys, I don't think it's a body. She says, I don't think that it's a body. I'm like, you think it's a ghost. It being a body helps your thing too. Every ghost used to have a body. Why are you acting like we're the dumb ones? And so then she makes another TikTok where she's like, okay, y'all, I called the police. And it's funny because she describes like calling the police and stuff. And when she called the police and told them the situation, I was digging in my yard and I was trying to move this fence. I hit the rug, whatever, and the rug's very thick. We can't just, because that's the other thing. She can't just pull it up. It's so heavy that it's like, it's down there. She would have to dig more to even expose more rug to even try to pull it up. And she tells the police that, and the police are like, that's not like a body. And so the police come out, right? And I am not a cop. I don't know how police work actually works. I don't know what procedure is or anything. All I know is what I saw in the video, because she was also making a TikTok out of the police coming and checking out the hole. And the police, when they got there, I don't know what exactly they were doing, but they were doing that thing where, you know, like when they have their hands in their vest? And so there was one cop that walked up and he was like, might be a body. So police look it over, because cops came twice, right? Police look it over. Then, part is fuzzy. I don't know what actually happened linking these two things. I don't know if the police said this to her before they left or if they called later and told her this, but basically they were like, look, it's a hole. I get that you're invested and that it's the rug, but we don't have the resources to just like do some big dig in your backyard for a case that's like not an open case or anything. There's not like some missing person or something. So we just, if you want to dig, if you want to dig and then call us if you find something, you can, but like, we're not gonna. And I mean, look, in this case, it was just the rug. It's not like a foot was hanging out or something, you know what I mean? And so then that was sort of that. And so she makes another TikTok where she talks to people and she's like, hey, listen, I know that y'all are all invested. I know that this is weird, but I don't have the money to just dig up my whole backyard just to try to find out what this is. Because in the case that it's nothing, I dug up my whole backyard and then I have to pay to, because it was also like going in the direction of her fire pit too, which means she would have had to pull up all that stuff. So she was like, I don't know. I don't know where this sort of leaves us, right? And she makes another TikTok not too long after that. Because what has happened through social is that we're all talking. We're all talking, we're all, like, listening's a strong word, but we're all talking. All right? But you gain the interest, and you can intrigue people from all over the world, right? And so as people are getting more and more invested in this thing, she makes another TikTok a little while later where basically someone was watching her last TikTok about how, yeah, she didn't have the money to just dig up her whole yard and everything. And so then they messaged her and they were like, hey, I own a construction company. I'll dig. I will not be left on a cliffhanger, all right? Digging is what I do. And so then, you know, the next TikTok is her basically being like, hey, this person with this construction company said that they would come over and dig and help me figure it out and everything. So go ahead and tune back in, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go live and we'll find out together. This is what's really jarring about that, right? Is that TV used to be TV. You used to get your entertainment from TV, and TV was a thing. You used to buy the TV and know that all the TV would happen on TV. But now, slowly, over time, we're TV. Whether we mean to be or not. There's plenty of people who have realized they were TV in real time and been like, I messed up. I did not want to be TV today. You know? TV used to, we're spoiled. You know, we're used to 24-hour news. We're used to 24-hour programming, even pay programming. When a channel runs out of TV ideas, they're like, well, we'll let this person try to sell you something for 3 hours. You know what I mean? TV used to just have a few channels, too. TV used to have like 5 channels. And they didn't even have a lot of ideas. The TV would be like, guys, we're done. TV, you would have your TV on, but TV would be off. Because they were just, they just didn't have any more programs. They were like, you know what it is. We'll see you at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Go to bed. What are you doing up? Why are you still up right now? You have a problem. You need to see somebody, a doctor maybe. You probably have insomnia because you have left this TV on all night knowing that the Dick Cavett show only goes so late. And I didn't know about any of this. My grandpa was telling me, you know what I mean? But like, he was like, yeah, you used to, you know, that used to be how you knew you had a sleeping problem. And now, you know, she's opened herself up to the fact that like this incident has made her TV. She even said, tune in at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I was like, you have commercials too? Damn. And then soon after that, she makes another TikTok where she's like, okay, so, ooh, all right. So I got a call, construction company calls, but I got another call from homicide. And a part of me was like, duh, it's a body. But she's like, I got a call from homicide that basically they said that they don't know who the last two officers were communicating with because it wasn't them. They must have talked to somebody else who told them to tell me what they told me. Homicide heard about the case and they were like, we would very much like to check. That's like our whole job, to check if that's a body. And so we're gonna come tomorrow, and they basically tell her, they're like, hey, if we find something, this will turn your house upside down. Are you prepared for that? And she was like, yeah, I want to get to the bottom of this thing. It's been like on my mind, and we're not just curious. It's like this could potentially be terrifying, And so they're like, okay. And if we don't find anything, then you're free to let the construction company dig and just see, like, get to the bottom of what maybe is dinosaur bones. Who knows, right? So next day comes, and she says in the TikTok, she's like, look, so still tune in at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, but I don't know what you're going to be watching. So sure enough, homicide comes. They bring the detectives. They also bring the cadaver dogs, right? And both cadaver dogs signal at the spot in the rug, right? And they even did in different ways, because I don't really know. I don't know much about cadaver dogs. All I know is that the first dog, he seemed a bit junior. Do you know what I mean? That first dog was just a little too happy-go-lucky. You know what I mean? Like he really showed up and was like, oh, what a beautiful day. It's wonderful just be in a yard and be able to run around, stretch your legs, and hang out with your friends and stuff. Oh! Y'all, this is just my opinion. I think that's a body. Second dog comes out, must have been more senior dog. They must bring two just to make triple sure, you know what I mean? Because second dog comes out much calmer, at least to me. I had more of a dignified gait to his walk. Walking around. Yep, that's a body. Ooh, y'all, come get me. That's a body. And it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough to be like a police dog because you don't know you have a job. Think about a police dog, just a dog. They think they're chilling. They think their life is normal. They only have like wild reactions once in a while, Like I wonder what it would be like to take a police dog to like just the dog park. Have him converse with other dogs and stuff. Running around. That house dog is like, hey, how you doing? Looking good, I love a pup in uniform. Oh, this? Oh, yeah. I wear it all the time. That was, you come to this park often? Oh, yeah, every day. Every day, me and my pal come here, and then, he lets me run around, and then we walk home, and then he feeds me treats, and I take a nap, and the police dog's like, nap? What's that? Oh, when you just get tired and you fall asleep whenever you want. It's like, okay, must be nice. You said your owner gives you treats. What kind of treats? House dog's like, oh, all the treats. It's incredible. I get like the beef treats and the chicken treats. I go crazy for the tuna treats. I try to play it cool, but I can't. They're too good. You know, sometimes I'll play hard to get, but then I'm a sucker for the tuna treats. Do you get treats? And police dog's like, yeah, I get treats all the time. What kind of treats do you get? Police dog's like, mostly cocaine. You know, because I'm one of the dogs that they have sniff for the cocaine, and so I'm running all in the house checking for the cocaine. I usually get there first, and so you know, sometimes I take a little off the top, you know what I mean? A couple extra sniffs. You know, it's gotta be wild. It's gotta be wild to think as a police dog, you're just going for a walk. They're like, smell this. Oh, okay. See what else smells like this out here. You're like, oh, all right. You just on a nice stride, you know, running with your pal, and then out of nowhere, you're like, something over here smells like, oh my gosh, that's a body. So both the cadaver dogs signal, right? And when they signal, you know, she's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, she's really taking it back. And I think that's also the first time that this becomes like real, because I think, you know, I can't say what was going on in her head, but I can imagine that, like, at the time you're just kind of going through the motions and having your own little true crime thing. But then when there's really something there and it becomes real, like, oh, this is terrible. This is terrifying. And then the police even come over and they're like, hey, you might want to stop recording. And so she makes another TikTok hours later where she's like, hey, I'm sorry I left y'all on a cliffhanger. You know, police were like, hey, maybe you want to stop recording. So I stopped recording and everything. But yeah, there's just people all over my house and stuff. And it was just like, I think it was all hitting her at once. And it must have been overwhelming, you know? And she's even saying to the camera, she's like, and the police, you know, they appreciate the fact that I'm the one that called them and stuff like that. So it's not like they're looking at me or anything. I was like, nope. Call a lawyer. 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 Call a lawyer now. Put the phone down and call a lawyer. Don't talk to me. Call a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Stop talking to me. Call a lawyer. That's a lot to assume. That's a lot to assume. Hey, guys, I just found this body. Like, I have nothing to do with it. You know? And it's got to be tough. Like, I really did try to put myself in her shoes. You know, it's got to be horrific to find something like that, what it might be, all that stuff. I think about what any of us might do. You know what I mean? Maybe not make a TikTok about it, but like what any of us might do. Like, I think about what I would do. I'm a homeowner. I'm digging, I'm moving my fence, you know, and then hit this rug. A rug, by the way, that had a tree planted on top of it. I think about what I would do, right? As Josh. And even more importantly, maybe, as like a black dude in America. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'd be like, yeah. I didn't kill him. You know? So then they like properly excavate and they do a whole dig, and it turns out it's not a body. Isn't it weird to be disappointed? Isn't it kind of weird to be disappointed that somebody's not dead? It's not a body at all. It was a rug that had a tree planted over it that was buried, which, I'm not gonna lie, is way weirder. That's That's so much more jarring now. There's so many more questions I have now. We understand, it's not right, but we understand how people get got. Like, we kind of, like, there's a part of you, maybe you're in the mob or something like that, but this thing is way weirder. That means that your house was previously owned by a freak. That just means that there was someone that owned your house that was burying rugs and planting trees on top. What else were they doing? Licking banisters? What goes through the mind of somebody who buried? What kind of witchcraft is that? I want answers. She gonna be retiling her roof years from now, and there's gonna be a piece of bologna under every tile. What kind of cartoon house is this?
How do you balance weekly stand-up and a daily show?
I work at Daily Show Monday through Thursday, and then we go on the road Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. And so I know that it's a lot, but it's also everything I've been trying to do this entire time. Like, these are all the things that I've ever wanted to be doing, and they just happen to be happening at once. Another thing that really gives me energy, I guess, is the people that I'm around. I get to be around the coolest people that I've ever worked with at Daily Show, that are constantly, like, whether it's hyping you up or you're able to bounce ideas off of them, and their enthusiasm and the way that they bring, like, their specific talents to the show always make me excited to be a part of it. And then the rest is just doing stand-up on the road, which is just meeting all of you and, doing the meet and greets when we can and stuff. And those are real opportunities to get a second to chat, even if it is just a moment where, I understand, especially a late show, people are tired and they want to take the picture and go home and stuff. I'm never, like, thinking about it some type of way. I guess I'm more just so excited to meet the people who enjoy what I'm doing, because sometimes you are creating these things online and it's very easy to see a number of likes or a little ticker go up. And while those things carry their own sort of excitement of, like, oh, that's cool that people are watching, it's not until you meet the people that are watching that you get a real sense of what's going on. And so I don't know, if I'm being honest, if I've thought about balance yet or anything. I sneak in my naps when I can, and one day I will find time to sleep. But sometimes I will say I don't realize I'm asleep. I have definitely woken up and not been sure when I was sleeping. So I guess I get enough sleep.
How do you take care of your mental health?
I think I do lots of stuff. To me, I think you're constantly bombarded all the time with stimulus and with media. And I think that even though most of it is negative, the positive stuff there, whenever you open yourself up to it or whenever you focus on it, is just as overwhelming sometimes. There are a lot of people out there talking about the good things happening in the world. And if you engage with that stuff as much as you engage with, like, mainstream news and being up to date on the latest horrible thing that's happening in every country, I think you can find the balance that's actually happening. Because it's true, all these things are happening at the same time. And I don't know, I think that centers me sometimes, that, like, as many bad things as there are that are happening, there are so many instances of us seeing, like, the good in people and the good in the world and stuff. And so that helps me take care of myself. I have people that I will sometimes message if I'm having a rough time, for any number of reasons. Just having those people really help. I think that therapy as well. Therapy, depending on your version of it and what you found helps you the most, I guess depends on how often you lean on it. And so, yeah, I think therapy, I think engaging in as much positive media as I can, and I think looking up specifically for news stories where something good is happening help me take care of myself.
Why are your tickets $400?
They are not. They're not. I cannot say this enough how much they are not. And because of how social works as well, no matter how many times you post that they're not, it may not reach the people who saw the thing. You know what I mean? Like we're all just missing each other because they're not at all. One of the reasons that you might see $400 tickets to my show are resellers. So I am trying to make sure everybody can come to the show. I'm trying to make sure that all the tickets are affordable, right? But if someone buys up a bunch of tickets and then they go to the secondary market and they wait until the show is sold out and then they try to sell it to people who want to come to the show but missed it, they're going to charge whatever they think they can get, right? So while it's $400 in this economy, $400. I am not asking that of anybody. $400 is too much money, okay? I can't sing. Yeah, I mean, like we're not talking about tickets to like somebody who can do backflips or something like that. Resellers are charging these astronomical prices, which is why I tell people to join my email list. If you join my email list, I will let you know when I add shows. I'll also let you know when shows are happening. You'll also get access to pre-sale in some of the markets because we try to email everyone out. There's a whole thing that I'm learning about how like venue have pre-sale tickets and days, and everybody has a certain amount of tickets that they're allowed and stuff like that. But as soon as we can go to you with the ticket, we try to go straight to you. So that way the email is coming from me and then you can get the ticket at its intended price, and we completely cut resellers out of it. Sometimes I even lose words for how best to describe how bad of a thing this reselling is, because it cheats you out of money and it cheats a lot of people out of an experience, you know? Because let's just, for the sake of argument, say the reseller buys my ticket and they're charging $2,000. And then people are like, Josh, love you, nice little quips, nice little witty jokes online, but 2,000, no. Now, somebody who was willing to pay the like $35, $45 that I was charging for the show doesn't get to come. And then this reseller is blocking people from having a good time at the show, you know? So my tickets are not $400. If you see that, you know, not only don't you buy it, but also feel free to warn other people, hey, this thing is not real, you know? So hopefully I've spoken about it well. Hopefully.
Where is your hour-long Netflix special?
It doesn't exist, but I think maybe it could one day. We'll see. The reason I do stand-up is to connect with the people that I'm doing stand-up for. And that's been happening through social, through YouTube, through like live performance as well. So I feel like the connection is there, and it's getting stronger, and it's growing. And so I don't concern myself as much with like, oh, when are we going to get this thing, or can we get this person on the phone or something? Because to me, all things happen as they're supposed to in the right time. And so if there is a day that comes that I have an hour-long Netflix special, then the day that comes will be the day that it comes out. Until then, I'm having a great time posting and writing as much as I can and just sort of putting that stuff out there.
Can you go deeper into your writing/performing process?
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. I could talk about it all day. So I'll try to give like some bullet points. I think when you're writing about anything, in my experience, I think taking the things that you find funny about them and the things that you find interesting about them and believing in them are going to be ways that you connect people to the thing it is that you're talking about. Not everything is interesting, and maybe everything can't be made interesting by a specific person. But I think if there's any like gold that you actually find in something, someone else will connect with that. I think the missing connective tissue sometimes is belief in the thing that you're talking about, and it's in a full understanding of what you're trying to say. And so whenever I'm writing anything, I'm trying to make sure that I'm fully distilling the idea down enough that if you don't know me, and if you don't know what I'm like, and if you've maybe even never watched stand-up before, you'll still get what I'm trying to say. And I think that that is one of the main things I look for in what I'm talking about and how long I want to talk about it. And then I think that sort of all of life informs other pieces of it. So if I may be talking about one thing that has nothing to do with any of the other topics I bring up in my mind while well, let me see, now I'm rambling. Hold on. If you choose a topic to talk about, right, it may seem incredibly isolated. It may seem like one of its kind. But because of how long humans have been around and because we have cyclical behavior, it's not. So no matter what the thing is, there's something like it that has happened before, even if it's only in spirit. And so I think that as soon as you pick something to talk about, you can find things that are similar to that thing that maybe someone might not understand thing A that you're talking about, but they've experienced thing B. And if thing B is a universal enough experience and you link it back to A, then I think that you can in turn at least give people the option of seeing what you're trying to say. And that's just one way to do it. I think that the other way is like take the thing that is your topic that's most important to you and breaking it down on every level. At some point with those layers, people will start to see what you mean. Whether or not they agree is like completely up to them. And luckily for stand-up, you don't really need anyone to agree with you. You just need them to be enjoying what you're saying and find it funny. Some things that we find funny are because of agreement, and some things that we find funny is because of the absurdity of it and how much we disagree. And so I think that in those ways, you don't really need to have the way a lawyer does an iron tight argument. You more just need to have all of your points built out and know exactly what you're trying to convey. And then that will be the link between you and the people that you're sharing with. I think that, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to seeing you on the road when I come to your city. Make sure to join the email list. It's at joshjohnsoncomedy.com. And I look forward to making more videos for you in the future. You know, I really love what I'm doing right now, and you're part of why I love it so much. Yeah. Till next week. So when I swing my legs, are you getting that? No. Oh, you're not? Okay. That would be my undoing, because they are nowhere near. And it's like, it's hard to take a man seriously when they're swinging like this, because it's a natural thing. Like if they were on the ground, they would be planted enough that it wouldn't be a big deal. But because they're so free, because my knees are really off the edge, there is a dangle that's not only a bit dainty, it's a bit whimsical too. It's not the right vibe to try to be.
The shoes are also Velcro too, so that...
Yeah, okay. These actually aren't my normal shoes. I wore these because I lost my shoes. And so I'm still looking for my real shoes. But then until then, I have these on, and everyone has been looking at me like I need help. I have not encountered anybody in a store or on the street that has seen my shoes and not been, let's just say, extra nice to me. Dangling in Velcro shoes, it's not the look for a grown man. You know what I mean? Like, this is when I tell you, I'm positive that this is like a walking ick. Yeah, like Like this is bad. So I was also not happy about it because I literally asked my girlfriend, hey, do you know where my shoes are? Which is one of the most insane questions you can hit a person with, because your shoes should have been left by you somewhere nearby. But I did not know where my shoes were. And I haven't worn these in maybe a year. I don't even know where they came from. I really don't. Like, maybe I bought them, but I feel like they were a gift. And not just a gift, but like a re-gift. Like, I think they were given to someone my size, and then that person was like, nah, I can't keep these in the house. It's better than not having shoes. I'm grateful to have more than one pair of shoes, but I'm also praying I find my real shoes soon because, ugh.
The main shoes, they're what, on?
On clouds, yeah.
When are you going to get an endorsement? I mean, you have those on every show, every stage, all over the country.
That's up to On Cloud. I wear them because they're comfortable. But an endorsement would be nice. That would definitely buy some more On Clouds. Yeah, they might as well endorse me. I would just give the money back to them almost immediately in On Clouds.
Put your hands together for Josh Johnson, everybody.
Like, I've been traveling a lot, and in traveling, it's hard when you're an adult to look at things that you experienced when you were a kid and not recontextualize them when you get more information. When you're a little kid, the world is face value. Everything that's happening is happening because I guess it's supposed to, or because that's what people do, or everything's very simple when you're a little kid, and then you get older and you see different things, and you look back, and you're like, wow, that's what was going on when I thought things were just normal, And I've been experiencing that a lot with around America with the dollar stores. There are three types of dollar stores. There is Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, and Dollar General. Now, an honorable mention does go out to the 99-cent store. The 99-cent store I want to discuss first, because the 99-cent store is completely unhinged. First of all, they don't have inventory at the 99-cent store. They have what they have, and you either found it or you didn't. You know that you found it or you didn't because what they showcase outside the 99-cent store doesn't make any sense at all. It's just up to the discretion of that franchise owner. The 99-cent store, the store will be here, right? And then they'll just put 2 shower curtains and then 16 potted plants out front. What is this place? Then you walk in and it's like, it's like if somebody truly made a business out of garage. Because when you walk in, nothing has like a designated spot or anything. There are things hanging on hooks I didn't even remember had hooks. I forgot that each broom I've owned had like a little hook to it. But then when you walk into the 99-cent store, almost like a beaded curtain, you walk through brooms hitting you in your face. The 99-cent store that I went to was so big. It was way too big. It was a warehouse of trash. It was like a hoarder died and then they tried to sell everything. Because the 99-cent store I went to had a stick man. It had a man who would get to the tallest stuff at the top. And this was the worst stick man in stick man history. Admittedly, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, and this is a black thing. This is mainly where we shop. There is a stick man. But the stick man was not good at all, because you're used to a stick man getting up there and unhooking something with precision, bringing it down. He might even drop the stick a little bit, catching his hand, hand it to you, right? This stick man was over here. I can't tell if he was nearsighted or farsighted.
but he could not see what he was sticking. This man was over here battling. You'd be like, can I get the one up there? He's like, yeah, I got you right now. I got you right now, young blood. Then it falls on the ground. He pick it up, dust it off. No. Our stick man was trash, and he had okay, look. I need glasses. All right? I'm not better than anybody. I'm not judging. Everybody got their own prescription, and that's their cross to bear, all right? But he had the most specific eyes I have ever seen in my entire life. This man had one Coke bottle and one that was very thin. Like, just, it seemed like he just needed a monocle, but he was like, nah, I don't trust myself to hold it on my cheek like that. Go ahead and give me glasses and just make one glass transparent glass. Because he clearly only had one bad eye. Like, it's, his eye, like this eye had to be good, because when you would look at him, one eye looked like he was doing this to you, right? Like one eye looked super big and the other eye looked regular. But then when you saw him, when he would turn, you could see both of his eyes were regular size eyes. So that was just the glass. And so he had one like Coke, but thick, bulletproof glass on this side, and then one that was very, very thin, right? And he would knock stuff over and go pick it up and everything. And he worked at the 99-cent store since maybe before time. This man had been there a very long time. He might still be there now, I don't know. But everything that's there is not like quality. You know what I mean? It's literally 99 cents in today's economy. This stuff isn't even just made in China. This is up off the floor in China. This is the stuff that they throw away in China, that they were like, you want this? All right. If you sure. This is how you could tell these are the worst products ever made in the history of humanity. They are so toxic that whatever you touch, whatever color it is, that's the color you are when you get done touching it. If you touch a green broom, you will pull back a Shrek hand, all right? I had a green broom and a blue dustpan because they were sold separately, you know? Goodness forbid you package them together and they're $1.19. You know what I mean? They were like, we can't have that. We'll have each for 99 cents. And then I bought the green broom and the blue dustpan, and one hand was Martian Manhunter and the other hand was Smurf. I couldn't get my hands back to normal for days. I don't know what they painted that with. Spray paint comes out easier. 99-cent store is trash. And then you get to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree made the guarantee a long time ago that everything would be $1, and they were the first to break that promise. You want a lesson in life not being fair, you go as a child to the Dollar Tree and buy one of their very illegal, individually packaged Capri Suns. Capri Sun they don't sell them like this. You're not supposed to do this. That's how I knew I was broke sometimes. Like you a kid going into the Dollar Tree for a Lucy Capri Sun. It was terrible, but like, and you know, they don't put them on the shelf. You gotta know if you know. And so you go up there, you like, all right. Feel like I'm buying weed or something. I'm over here, come on, sip, come on. You miming it, you. One time I bought a loose Capri Sun, and the man up in Dollar Tree tried to charge me for the straw. I was like, you are the devil. You are, ooh, I rebuke you. That's crazy. You gonna sell, that's how I can tell you a demon. You gonna sell me the straw separately. What am I supposed to do with this? Suck it with a safety pin? This is crazy. That's insane. This man over here sliding the Capri Sun to me, and I'm looking at him. What's wrong, man? You know, come on. He's like, that's extra, young blood. I'm like, hey, what? From a young age, I could identify with people who rob stores because that was very aggravating. Dollar Tree was over here just, you know, letting themselves run out of inventory. I would go in the Dollar Tree and there'd just be whole spaces, whole sections empty. You know, at least the 99-cent store is packed. Packed to the brim with stuff that doesn't even make sense. The 99-cent store would have one of something, proudly. They'd have one of something and the price tag. There was one time I went to a 99-cent store, I saw one bra. That's crazy. I'm like, that's lost and found, if anything. This is, y'all don't have a single other bra in here. And you gotta hang the bra next to the snacks. You know you shouldn't be selling this bra. Because Dollar Tree would let themselves run out of like everything, and then you walk in, it's just bare shelves and stuff. At least the 99-cent store would try to make sense of things. 99-cent store doesn't make any real sense at all, and you can tell because sometimes they'll sell stuff that should be sold for a totally different purpose. I've been very confused in a 99-cent store before. One time, I was in a 99-cent store, and on the shelf, it said 99 cents. So far, everything's checking out. It said 99 cents, and then it said hat. It was a hat for 99 cents, right? But then on the shelf, clearly, is a bucket. That's a bucket. It's a bucket, though. Like it is, like I'm not crazy. That's a bucket. You can make it a hat if you want, if you believe, but that's a bucket. All you gotta do is flip this over on its bottom and put bucket, and we don't have any problems. But hat is crazy. And then when I'm checking out, I bought a broom, I bought a dustpan, and then he's like, and one hat? And I was like, you don't believe that though. There's no way you believe that. Because it's not a hat, it's a bucket. And I want to be clear, it's not even a bucket hat. It is a bucket. A bucket. So then you have Dollar Tree. You know, then you have Family Dollar. Family Dollar, I've talked about this before. Family Dollar really helped me pinpoint on the map of life where I was. There's a quote, I'm gonna get it wrong, but there's a quote by, I think it was Nikola Tesla, that said that man's grasp, the reach, it's man's grasp, what is it?
Man's grasp exceeds his reach.
Man's grasp exceeds his reach. And I think, it's man's grasp.
Reach exceeds his grasp.
Man's reach exceeds his grasp. I was like never gonna correct you because I didn't know either, but like, as soon as you said something, it did sound.
Yeah. I didn't know either. So man's reach exceeds his grasp, and I think that Family Dollar's inventory exceeds its means, because every year of my life, Family Dollar has been trying harder and harder to be a grocery store. Every time I go up in Family Dollar, they add one more item that they should not have at Family Dollar. I remember the day I went in Family Dollar and saw milk, and I was like, no, we not built for this. A lot of people are gonna get sick, okay? I'm a kid, but I'm still trying to tell adults how to run their business. I was like, y'all don't even have the fridge space for this milk. Come on now. And Family Dollar has always helped me keep track, truly, being honest with myself, of where I am on this map of life, right? Because at first, I walked in Family Dollar, I saw milk, and I was like, y'all, don't do this. And 2 years later, I was like, let me go ahead and get the milk. 3%, you say? I've never heard of 3% before. That is interesting. I've never had 3% in my life. Maybe I'll get stronger bones, who knows? So you got Dollar Tree, you got Family Dollar, and then you have Dollar General. Dollar General is the stuff of nightmares. Dollar General is straight out of a horror movie. And I don't say that because of the experiences I've had at Dollar General. I say that because of where they put Dollar Generals. Dollar General will be the last thing you see before you die. And not in a curse sort of way, not in like the Ring sort of way. Dollar General will be put in the middle of a field. Whether you are in the South or the Midwest, the only places Dollar General truly exists and thrives is the middle of nowhere in the South, the middle of nowhere in the Midwest, and the Sahara. I don't know. By the time you see a Dollar General, you're like, is this a mirage? Because I've seen nothing but fields for 30 minutes and then one Dollar General. With a man working there from the 1800s, who knows? Those Dollar General, people that work at Dollar General get bold with you when they're out. When you out in like their area, you at this Dollar General in like Ball, Louisiana. You walk in, it's like, not from around here, huh? It's like, you even talking like the movie. Who says that to a customer? Not even where you from. Not from around here, are you? Oh. Now you can tell a Dollar General is terrifying. Because out of a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar, I'm just talking about my experiences growing up, you know. Out of a Dollar Tree and a Family Dollar, a Dollar General is the least likely to be robbed, all right? I've seen Dollar Generals, you know, be on the news, not for being robbed, for the attempt. Do you know the horror that has to go down for the attempt of a robbery to make the actual news? Nothing got stolen, but everything that happened was still so bad.
that it made the news. It was a dude who was on the news. I'm pretty sure it was Dollar General. And this dude made the news because they ran up in the Dollar General trying to rob it, which also not a great plan. Dollar General doesn't exactly have a lot of sales going on. And so for all the sales they do have going on, let's just say no Dollar General I've heard of needs a safe, all right? And so to run up at a Dollar General to rob it, you already expecting to run out with like $26, okay? But this man ran up in a Dollar General trying to rob it, right? And not only did they take his gun, they beat him with his gun. And then the getaway driver called the police on them. I'm just curious how that went. Because when you run up in a place to rob it, you at least have what one would hope is the element of surprise. You would hope a place doesn't get robbed so often that they are ready like Neo from the Matrix to snatch the gun out of your hand as soon as you walk in. I'm sure people going in to rob a place have like a rob and walk or like a gun-toting bravado maybe. But imagine being robbed so often that you're like, no, when they come back. Because this is the thing that blows my mind, is that we're in the South, and this dude ran up in a Dollar General to rob it, and they didn't shoot him. The South loves guns. We love guns. And we, like a fever dream, wish we could shoot someone. And then here is someone running in with a gun to do evil. Someone that the law would say, shoot. And the employees at the Dollar General were like, actually, I really prefer hands. Imagine how crazy you have to be, how bad of a week you must be having for somebody to run up in there with a gun out to rob you, and you go, this is exactly what I needed. You know what? Let me tell you something about the Lord, all right? The Lord won't put more on you than you can bear, okay? And the Lord knew people had been trying me all week. People I wasn't allowed to hit. People that I could never put my hands on. And so then the Lord sent you to me at work, the place I hate most, to go ahead and take out a week's worth of frustration on you with the butt of this sawed-off shotgun. Imagine you run into a Dollar General to rob it, gun already out. Hey, everybody freeze, whatever he said. And then the employees turn and he's like, open the register. And they're just smiling. You don't know what happens next. Maybe a blackout, maybe you watch them take the gun out of your hands because you weren't expecting that. And then you see the butt of the gun coming back real slow. I'm sure the next part is a blur. I'm sure all you really know is you hear yourself getting whooped. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You forget, was this my gun the whole time? It's not acting like my gun. You wake up. The police are standing over you, and you haven't been arrested. Because all the damage was done to you. Oh, Dollar General, insane. It's crazy too because every once in a while Dollar General will buy a store that used to be a nice store. Like it used to be like a dope store. Like truly, it used to be like crazy. Like I remember there was a place I went with my grandma and I don't even remember the name. That's how like little I was where it was just a memory of being with her holding my hand and us walking into this place. And you know how when your little things are bigger? So I'm sure if I went there now, it would look like the size of a regular department store. But she took me to this place and it was huge. In my head, it was so big, right? And she bought some socks, she bought some other stuff and everything, and then we left. And I remember when I would ride with her, because, you know, I would go with my grandma during the summers or after school. My mom would drop me off at my grandma's because she would still be working and stuff. And so when I'd run errands with my grandma, we'd pass that place over and over. And I'd always want to go back inside because I had such a fun memory of like, there were so many toys and it's just huge, right? And it had closed. And so my grandma would remind me every time that it had closed, right? And then eventually it became like a dollar store, like a chain dollar store. And I remember it being like, man, that place was cool. And now they sell 3% milk. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I told my friends a story a long time ago about how my friend met this woman online, right? And this was back when meeting people online was still like not quite done. It was still new to do that. And the woman that he met wanted to meet up one night, which is exciting because this is why you do it. And she said she wanted to meet up, and he was like, where do you want to meet? And she was like, oh, behind the library. Which should have been a clue. Said you want to meet behind the library, and he was like, oh, okay. Which library? Because so she told him which branch. And then they met up, and it just took him too long to realize he was being robbed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... Like, even when he showed up and it was two dudes, he was like, but where's Sarah? It's like, You need to wake up, dude. Sarah's a fiction. And that's the way that I feel about Trump federalizing D.C. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I was watching it this morning and watching them talk about it, and it was an interesting speech because you would have thought he would have stayed on crime the whole time, but he definitely diverted a few times. Like there was one point where I really don't like. I'm not even joking right now. I genuinely don't understand what he was trying to say, because there was one point where he was talking about how like trans people fight or something, and it just started to feel like the kind of conversation you have with someone who is 2,000 years old. Like it just... It was weird. It was like he, because it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like part of the thing. And then people, you know, are obviously like worried, terrified, confused and everything. Because there are people who are like, he can't do that. That's not legal. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, what are you, a Democrat? Like, this is the goofiest. That's illegal. It's like, all right. That's what my buddy said when he was getting robbed, too. He was like, well, this is illegal. Stop. Out of your mind. Hey, that's illegal. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. That's a question that Democrats constituents ask. That's a question that Trump is asking. That's a question on everybody's mind right now. If you oppose what he's doing, what are you gonna do about it? You know? And I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know what to do at all because I genuinely don't. I mean, I know that people protested today off of the announcement, off the fact that, like, just imagine you live in D.C. and Trump says he's gonna, like, deploy the National Guard. And you just, like, not only is crime at this, like, 25, 30-year low, but, like, you just got to the point where you were probably starting to feel kind of safe on the street, and now it's gonna be the National Guard looking at you every day, confused why they're there too. You know? People forget that the armed forces, like obviously, you know, soldiers are supposed to follow orders and everything like that, but the armed forces are filled with people of differing backgrounds and opinions and everything. So it's not as if everybody that ever gets deployed is excited to be deployed. And it's not as if they're always well taken care of when they are deployed. You know, these people, they signed up to do a service for their country. I'm curious how they feel about being deployed against the people that they're supposed to protect instead of against, like, some foreign invader or something. You know, I'm not gonna act like I know. I've never served or anything, but I've talked to people in the service, and they come from all different types of backgrounds. They vote in all different types of ways, and I'm sure that if you're walking down the streets of D.C. feeling disheartened, feeling like you're being occupied, there's probably somebody standing there as you walk into work that's like, yeah. I don't know, because it has been on my mind all day, and trying to figure out how to not just like talk about it, but say something more than just like, I think that might be bad. Like, I think that we're having a moment a lot like my friend had, where it's like you just have to be very aware of what's happening, because to not be aware doesn't mean the thing will go away, you know? Like, we don't want to be behind a library going, "Where's Sarah?" for our entire democracy. Because that's, yeah. I think that's the thing that I find so, like, aggravating about it, is that he is a person that tells you what he's gonna do, and then he does it. And then there are people who supposedly like him that are positive he's not gonna do the thing they said he was gonna do. They're like, no, he won't do that though. And it's like, then why would he say it? He trolling. Like he's just like, all right, but what if he's not? No, he wouldn't do the thing he said he'd do. Who does that? You know, because I'm not gonna act like I know what to do, and I think it's more important for everyone should know who, on every level, their representatives are and what they do for you and what they're doing for you right now. And it's easier to hold those people to account when you know who they are. You know what I mean? Like your state senator or everything down to like, you know, alderman. Everything. Because it's the fact that these people go unnoticed, the fact that we expect whoever, business people, celebrities, whatever it is, to pick up the slack of the people that were elected to do those jobs, all right? Like we're in a position now as a country that's very scary because we look to companies to do some of the work that local government should be able to do. And now we've stripped resources from local government to the point where you do need who knows, Amazon to come in and bring in jobs, because how are we going to get jobs now? Or you need on a state level companies that you give everything to, and they give you very little for the resource that you're missing. You know, and so now we're at a point where some of our infrastructure is completely buckled without us really realizing it. You know, there's been such an influx of money into the economy because of AI and because of the gamble and the race to be number one in AI that all these companies are making. There's been such a rush to build and fill these data centers that money is flowing in a way that, you know, the effect of the tariffs isn't fully being felt. The economy and the like 5 top businesses in the S&P 500 are now carrying most of the weight of the S&P 500. Like we're at a point that's close to tipping, and it's very important for the people to be held accountable. They're actually accountable. You know, it gets very easy to divert and get mad at this person or notice that this person said something, whatever it is. It's the actual people who vote on these things, who have the power to say yes or no to large companies, knowing that you know where they are and what they do, that holds them to account. As long as you are distracted or you're blaming whatever, the person to blame when it's too late, then things are going to stay the same. You know, representatives, to me, work a lot like when you're out with your friends, and let's say you're like young too, maybe you're like 21, out at a bar or a club for the first time. You don't have any experience with this stuff. You're just the 4 or 5 of you guys all together, buddies in college, going out to like a bar or a club for the first time. You don't really know. You don't have any swag yet. Don't have a ton of confidence. All you know is you see 4 or 5 beautiful ladies across the room, and so you think to yourselves, oh, well, what should we do? One of us should say hello. We should say hello, you know, and then maybe they'll want to come over here, or maybe we can go over there, but it should just be one. If it's all 5 of us, that's just, ooh. You have enough wherewithal to know that all 5 of you approaching at the same time maybe isn't the move. 5 horny men approaching all together. Ooh, doesn't come off well. You know what I mean? If all 5 of you are... It's not going to go fantastic. You know that. So you decide, I'm going to send, we'll send a representative. One of us, the best of us, to make us look good. We'll send him over there. He'll charm everybody, and then we'll walk over and reap the benefits of his hard work. Or maybe he'll be so charming that he'll invite them over to our table, and then we can order drinks for us and them. But we'll know that we sent him, he did a good job, and then he'll come back to us. And so your friends, they start campaigning. They start campaigning with promises, you know? No, I can go over there. I can do it. I can do it. It's like, no, listen, Daryl, you blink too much, all right? You blink way too much, all right? You gonna run up in there, they gonna think it's a bomb under them or something. You blinking too much. You blinking now. Stop blinking so much. We can't send you over there. You look nervous right now. And so then the group nominates Mark. Mark has at least had a girlfriend. He knows how to talk to women. He's had a girlfriend, he has sisters, and a mom. He knows what to do. Let's get Mark over there. So Mark, elected by the group, goes over there, you know. And even before he walks over, he says something that Mark would say. You know, he stands up and he's like, hey guys, thank you so much. All right, your faith in me means a lot. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna do my best for us, for all of us, okay? I appreciate you all so much. And look, I'm gonna do my darndest. Who knows what the result will be, but your faith in me means the world. No matter what, we're gonna have a great night tonight, okay? See y'all in a second. And then he goes over, he makes his approach. And because Mark is engaging, he's sweet, and he's interesting, he's easy to talk to. And because he's extroverted and he's outgoing, he knows how to approach without creeping or intimidating. And so quickly, you see these 5 ladies having what looks like a really good conversation with Mark. Things are looking up. This is incredible. The body language is phenomenal. Mark is over here working the room. And then Mark makes that motion and he points at y'all. Y'all weren't ready. You didn't know. Everyone was about to look over here. And so Mark points over at you and you're like, Mark turns around and keeps chatting, and after a while, things start to slow down. You don't really know why, but some nods and still a couple of laughs. And then Mark, he doesn't beckon you over. He doesn't give the thumbs up like they're about to head back with him. And he comes back, he sits down, and your dumbest friend is like, how'd it go? And Mark says, well, fellas, they all have husbands. But Mark did his best. And that's not actually his fault. He tried, right? You can send a representative. They can promise to do something, and maybe the thing is bigger than the promise that they made. That is possible.
that they tried as hard as somebody could try, and they didn't deliver because the circumstances weren't there. But let's talk about a different scenario, a more common scenario. Maybe Mark was sick. He wasn't even there. He's at home. Your buddy Chet is campaigning. And Chet campaigns on some pretty jarring promises. He's like, look, I'm gonna go over there, all right? I'm gonna be like, what's up? Be like, hey, ladies. You know, that'll get their attention real quick, because I'm gonna pop up right in. I'm not even gonna just like stroll up. I'm gonna walk up, and then I'm gonna clear those last 2 steps real fast, really get in their face. Bow, right? Like that. What's up, lady? And I'm just gonna tell them what it is. I'm like, you could have a boring night, or you could have a night with us. And look, Chet is the loudest. He's the loudest. He's the most adamant with the supposedly strongest campaign. And so you elect him, he unfortunately becomes your representative. And you see him off, and he doesn't give a speech like Mark did. He gives a speech like, all right. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be smelling like perfume, all right? And then he walks over, and you see him walk over, and his approach is startling. Because he can't just walk over. He's doing like he's doing a walk that's like kind of Denzel, but if Denzel was severely hurt. You know, Denzel has that swag to his walk. Chet is over here. And then he does what he said he was gonna do. He walks up, and you can't really hear him, but you can see the body language. You don't hear him give his little speech, but you can tell when he gives it because everybody slapped him. And then he walks back over. He sits down. And your dumbest friend goes, how'd it go? And he's like, man, let's get out of here. Everybody's stuck up in here. And it does feel like that's where we are. Yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty bad situation. There's way more Chets than there are Marks. You know, because I used to look around, especially when I first started touring, even when I was in some of the worst, you know, motels, hotels, like some of the worst, like. But I did. The first time I ever got a chance to travel this country at all and meet new people who were from new places that I had never been to before. Not only did I have a good time because I was having these new experiences, but I really felt like I was seeing something
really, really beautiful. Everybody wasn't happy and everybody didn't get along. I'm not like pining for a time that didn't exist. I'm just saying that like really getting out for the first time in my life all those years ago felt a lot like walking through that department store with my grandma. It was really special. I look back on it fondly, and I am genuinely afraid that we've gone from that to a dollar store that sells 3% milk.
Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
When I was a kid, our class had a bully, and I'm just gonna call him John, right? And John, he bullied everybody in like a very run-of-the-mill way. Like this was very standard bullying. Like slap the books out your hand. What's that? You know, it was blow, right? And I think one of the reasons we let him get away with it wasn't just because he was a little bit bigger than all of us, but his voice changed first. And it changed so young, we didn't know what to do with that. Like, we didn't know that was coming for the rest of us. So then John would just walk up like, give me your homework. And I'd be like, that sounds like the devil. So, because I'm not equipped with holy water today, you gonna get this math homework. Oh. And there was another kid in our class, Reeve. And Reeve... I'm not gonna say he didn't have any friends, but Reeve had friends for like 20 minutes at a time because Reeve was one of the singular most annoying people I'd ever met in my entire life. It was almost to the level of a skill or a talent. It was absolutely insane. As an example, right? Reeve loved anime, and that's fine. I love anime too, but Reeve loved anime in a way that I didn't love anime because I at least know anime not real. Reeve loved anime to the point where he was letting it affect how he runs. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like he could never do anything regular. He had to do it anime every time. He could never just turn around. He had to be like, you ask Reeve a question, he doesn't know the answer. He can't just think about it. He has to go, It's like... As a fellow anime lover, I'm like, dog, chill. You making us look bad. Stop. Please. Oh. No, it was insane. And one day, we were at lunch, and Reeve was trying to make his carton of milk explode, right? You know, with his powers. And so he holding his hand over the carton of milk, not touching it, holding it over. Nothing happening because it's not real. He finally gets so tired of waiting for the powers to activate that he grabbed the milk, squeeze it, drop it, and go, I did it. No, I did it. Y'all just didn't see it when I did it. But yeah, no, I did it. Ooh, I got it. Now, when he picked it up and he crushed it, milk went everywhere. And a lot of milk just spurted out and landed all over John. And John stood up, turned around, walked up to Reeve, towering over him, and was like, you got milk on me. We gonna fight later. And never before in my young life had I been so excited for violence. Because as word spread, people were taking sides. They were like, no, John gonna kill Reeve. And we're like, no, Reeve weird. I bet you he gonna scratch him to death. Like,
He has that X factor. We might be able to get rid of both of them at the same time. And so after school, we gathered around in a little circle in front of the two of them. They're about to fight, right? And John is like lumbering back and forth. And we knew John was strong, but he also, you know, he moved slow. And he was moving slow pre-fight. He was just stalking back and forth like Mike Tyson in the early 90s, just like ready to do something terrible, right? And then on the other side of this imagined ring, Reeve is using his pre-fight time to power up. I've watched a lot of anime, and I've never seen what this child did next. Because to power up, the first thing he did was let his knees buckle. What is this? What power are you drawing from the earth right here like this? This doesn't make any sense at all. He over here, knees buckle, arms out. This is not how you power up in any anime. This is how you fall down the stairs if you a slinky. All right? And this boy here, like this, doing the power up yell. Oh! And then the fight starts, and the fight starts with Reeve attacking John, right? Coming right at him, but he coming at him in the power-up stance. So he over, oh! And admittedly, John didn't know what to do. He really was like, oh. And so they start fighting, and kind of what we thought was gonna happen happens. John is big, he's strong, but he telegraphs all his punches, and he's slow. Boom, but he's missing, right? And Reeves attacks. Reeves' attacks have a lot of energy to them. That's not really going anywhere. Like, instead of punching, he over here, yeah! And so he's fast enough getting out of John's way, but he's not doing any damage. And so John over here punching air, and Reeve over here throwing air. So it's not really a fight. But I really was gathered around all those people, shoulder to shoulder, watching two of them go at it like fight, 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 fight. First time in my life. Fight, 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 fight. So when I think about Elon and Trump, right? It's like it's like one of the most insane bouts I've ever watched take place in my life. In case you haven't heard, Elon and Trump are fighting. And it's like Christmas came early and twice. Like, the only person calling for peace is Kanye West. That's crazy. It's crazy. And we knew that this thing was bound to happen, you know? Because you have to think of who Elon is as a person and who Trump is as a person, right? And it's wild because one, richest man in the world, one, most powerful man in the world and everything, but they had a shaky alliance from the start because
I don't think we gave Trump in the moment enough credit for how nice he was being to Elon. He was very nice to Elon. You know? Because Elon, weird. Wait. Elon weird, and Trump didn't say anything about it the entire time, acting like he didn't see it. Like, that's not who he is as a person. Trump is a natural bully. Like, that's what he does, you know? And he was very nice to Elon by omission. I'm not just talking about what he said, because Trump is always using superlatives if he likes you. If he likes you, you're the best, smartest, most amazing that's ever done it, right? That's how he speaks. But he was nice to Elon by what he didn't say. Because you gotta remember, Donald Trump is the same man who roasted the supreme leader of North Korea to his face. I don't know if y'all remember, it was like 2018 or something, and Kim Jong-un and him met up to have dinner and like talks and stuff like that, and there was a photographer there taking pictures of both of them before they sat down for the dinner, and Trump turned to the photographer and was like, "You making us all look nice and handsome and thin?" A lot of people think Kim Jong-un doesn't speak or understand English. He understands English. He consumes a lot of American media. And Kim Jong-un was even standing there like, did he? He know I kill people, right? Like, oh, that same guy was very nice to Elon. And he was nice to Elon by omission because Elon jumped in front of Trump. You saw the jump. The world saw the jumps. Trump invited Elon on stage, and Elon walked on stage like, man showed bottom belly in front of Donald Trump. This grown man showed full belly button, broad daylight in front of Donald Trump, and Trump said nothing. Acted like he didn't see it. Just let that dude start talking right after. That was wild. You know, Elon jumped because he was excited. And he was excited because what was about to happen had never happened before. Never before, right? Obviously, Elon, richest man in the world, and as long as there's been money infused in politics, the wealthy have had a ton of influence. That's nothing new. What was about to happen was unprecedented. This rich man was about to actually get to go in the government himself. No back channels, no liaisons. He was going to go in the government himself. He was going to end every investigation into him and his companies. He was going to fire everyone investigating. He was very excited. And I guess he was more excited than any president we've ever had because all of our presidents have kept their feet on the ground the entire time. There's no old footage of Kennedy like, it doesn't exist. There's no portrait of Thomas Jefferson like, no, get the one where he was getting air. That was... This man jumped in front of Donald Trump. Trump said nothing. Elon laughed in front of Trump. As someone who has traveled the world, and continues to travel the world making people laugh, I've heard all types of laughs. And believe me when I tell you, Elon laughed like he throwing up. Watch any interview Elon does where he makes a joke, because only he will get it, and then he starts laughing, and he's just sitting there like, you know, it's because comedy is you know, it's funny with jokes. This man laughed in front of Donald Trump. Trump said nothing. Elon danced in front of Donald Trump. Elon danced like... Elon danced like he gotta look at each body part first to give it permission to move. Like, it is truly astounding. He'll be there. In front of Donald Trump. And Trump didn't say a word. That's like sitting Eminem down in front of a yacht going 40 knots, holding 30 thoughts who are each holding bulbs that are 20 watts, and he can't rap about it at all. That's his whole thing. It's wild that he's not saying anything. He is being very nice to Elon. I knew it wasn't gonna hold. Everybody knew it was gonna fall apart. We didn't know when, but we knew it was a short-lived alliance. And it was short-lived, in my opinion, for two reasons. All right? The first one is that you cannot ever watch someone treat everyone terribly and think that that doesn't mean they'll do the same thing to you under the right conditions. You know what I mean? And I should be clear here. I'm not talking about someone who has a bad day, someone who's in a bad way at the moment. We're all human. People have bad days. I'm talking about someone who, by and large, treats people terribly, but is nice to you. It's only for right now. As soon as you're in the position the other people are in, they'll treat you the same way. And if you don't think so, you're a fool. And both of them, without exception, think that they are the exception. Oh no, I've seen him scream at everybody and, treat them like trash. It won't happen to me though. All right? One has the most money in the world. One has the most power in the world. But neither one of them have respect for anybody. And the three things that men like them seek, and I think that they seek them because maybe they're the only things that they care about, or maybe they truly believe that if they get these three or enough of them, everything else will fall into place. But men like these men are obsessed with money, power, and respect. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the power in the world, but a lot of people conflate fear with respect. And they're not the same thing. You can be afraid of what someone could do to you with all of their money. It doesn't mean you respect them. You can be afraid of what someone can do to you with all of their power. It doesn't mean that you respect them. And you know it because as soon as the money is gone, the respect is gone. As soon as the power is gone, the respect is gone. And there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people I've known growing up in my life, men that I looked up to who did not have any money. And they didn't have any more power than enough to control themselves, but I respected them because of how they treated people, how they carried themselves. And respect is the one thing, one of many, that can't be bought and it can't be forced. And neither one of them really get that. And they don't respect anyone. So eventually this was gonna come to a head. And I knew it was starting because Elon truly believes, he's even said so, that he bought Trump that election. He spent $250 to $280 million in the election. He believes, look, you lost the last one, you won this one. I'm the difference, I'm the deciding factor. I got you that election. And you're not gonna convince a man like Donald Trump that you got him anything. He's like, that's my base, those are my voters, they like me, they don't like you. You didn't get me anything. I'll gladly take your money, but you didn't get me the election. I got it myself. That was always gonna be a sticking point. And so then Elon took that belief and he took it to a local race in Wisconsin. right? And he was even doing like little $1 million raffles if you vote for the person who wants you to vote for. It was very confusing how it worked. Like I didn't get it at all. And he even went to Wisconsin, was stumping for this person, was there in Wisconsin. And then the candidate that he backed lost by double digits. And it's because people see how much money he has. He's the richest man in the world, but they don't like or respect him. He hurt that candidate by being there and by doing those raffles. It would be like if someone came to you, and let's say in this scenario, you know, you're working and you're doing all right, you're getting by, and maybe sometimes it's paycheck to paycheck, things get rough, right? But someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, you just won the lottery. And you're like, what? I didn't even enter. Don't worry, we got you. What? I won how much did I win? $1 billion. Going from paycheck to paycheck to $1 billion. That's crazy. And you're like, there's gotta be a catch. I didn't enter any lottery. What do I have to do? And they're like, that's simple. You just have to hang out with Elon for the rest of your life. And at least based on what those people did in Wisconsin, they were like, you know what, actually, my job at McDonald's is perfect. I really like being customer facing. I like the rapport I have with my coworkers. Just keep that money and him away from me, please. Because he could not buy the race, because as much money, don't get me wrong, $1 million, ton of money. That's a ton of money. And people have done way worse for less, but at a certain point, people reach their breaking point. And they're like, no, I have enough respect for myself, I have enough respect for my community, for my state, to not just vote this way, just for some money from a guy who I know is a bad actor, you know? And once that happened, I knew it was probably up for Elon. Because he lost that race. He hurt that candidate by going there. And if there's one thing Donald Trump hates, is a loser. And you could see some of the shine wearing off of Elon. Because initially, when the administration started, they protected Elon heavy. Anybody said anything about him, anybody did anything, they were on it like that immediately. But then Elon started getting on people's nerves. You know, initially, when they won, somebody would ask a question, they'd shut it down to the media. Elon is a patriot. He's helping clear this government of waste, fraud, and abuse. You leave Elon alone. And then people started to rebel against Elon specifically through Tesla. Tesla's stock started plummeting. People stopped buying Teslas. And then people started vandalizing Teslas. They started blowing up Teslas. And then Pam Bondi came on the news and was like, if you vandalize a Tesla, we will find you. We will prosecute you. They were helping Elon a lot. Trump even turned the front of the White House into like a dealership for a day. And he had Elon there, right? They were doing their best to help Elon. But then, as you saw the months go by, they started mentioning him less. You started seeing them together less. You could tell this thing was waning. And then, how I know that they had stopped protecting him, his 130 days was up as the Doge, like, daddy or whatever. Like, I don't know what this job is. Like, depending on who you ask on what day, he's like an advisor, but he's the leader, but he's not involved. It's like, it's all very weird, but he can only do it for 130 days because as America, we only have like 3 laws left, and one of them is that you can't be in a made-up position for more than 130 days. And so it was like time. And so it was time for him to go, right? And it being time for him to go, he asked Trump if he could stay. And Trump was like, dang, man. No, we only have so many, like, bathrooms in here. Like, it wouldn't work, you know? I imagine Trump had the reaction that you would have if the worst person you know asked if they could live with you for a little while. Just like, oh, dang, my place just flooded just now. That's right when you asked me too. That's crazy. I know we're not there, but I can feel with my bed underwater. Like, it's just a thing I have. So you should probably find somewhere for both of us to stay, because I need somewhere to stay too. Find a place for both of us to stay and you just stay there. That would be great. And so Elon, shows up for his last day at work, and the president is in the Oval Office with him, honoring him, giving him a key to nowhere. And one of the ways I knew they had stopped protecting Elon is because there were like 2 publications that came out, one the day before he left Doge, one the day of. And both those publications, from like high caliber written journalism, basically said, headline contents were basically, did y'all know he was a crackhead? Like, he'd been a crackhead. That's crazy. Elon a full crackhead. They were listing the drugs he was doing. They're like, he does cocaine, you know, he does mushrooms, some hallucinogens and everything, ketamine. Horses can't keep up with Elon. Like, he really out here a full crackhead. That's wild. You know, and then, you know, to prove the doubters, the detractors, what Elon would call the full-blown liars wrong, he showed up to the Oval Office for his last day of work, higher than his rockets go. This man was in the Oval Office standing next to the President of the United States, tweaking. This man was over here hitting the... He looked like he arguing 5 minutes into the future. It was wild to watch. This man over... could not stop moving. At one point, the only, like, you have to watch the video, but like, the only way I could describe it is he felt like a slow Michael Jackson, right? Like, just... he was just over here like, no, it was insane. This man next to the president cracking out, and Trump said nothing. And then he left, you know. He left, and I'll admit to you right now, I thought it was like a PR stunt. I really did. I thought that he was leaving, and then he'd just keep running Doge in the background, and this would take some of the heat off of him. Now you wouldn't think of him so directly. People wouldn't attack his businesses so hard, because in the time that he entered politics to present, he's lost somewhere around like $100 billion or something like that. And it's all like a valuation thing. It goes up and down, but you could see that at least the boards of the businesses that he was on are genuinely worried, even if he doesn't care. So I thought he was gonna leave politics for a little while, keep working in the shadows, maybe the stock would go up a little bit, but nothing would really change. And it turns out that was not the case. He had really been getting on people's nerves. Like hard. And you saw it with Trump. They used to always, be talking about Elon, mention him, to not mentioning him at all. And then the people that Elon had to deal with, it wasn't really Trump as much as the actual cabinet, and they couldn't stand that dude. They hated that dude so much. And so he's really out. And you hear reports, now this stuff is all hearsay, I don't know if any of it is true, but apparently he was having shouting matches with Marco Rubio all the time. All of these cabinet people that Trump got in, Elon has had a spat with most of them, right? Scott Bessent, apparently him and Elon almost got in an actual fight. Scott Bessent doesn't look like he can fight. If you... If you don't know what Scott Bessent look or sound like, just imagine if like printer paper came to life. Like and Elon was truly out. He was out, and one thing really stuck out to me. It was It was the fact that Elon and Trump share a sort of lived experience where they're not used to hearing no and it's sticking. You know, no is usually an inconvenience to a yes for them. They usually get their way. And so for Elon to be told no, and then he was actually sidelined, and then things that he wanted to happen weren't happening. You know, he wanted some dude that he recommended to be the head of NASA. Trump said no. And then there were things that Elon didn't like because he felt like apparently they were undercutting all his work, like Trump's big, beautiful bill it's named the Big Beautiful Bill because imagination. And Elon has hated that thing, I guess, for a while. You know, just the idea of it. It's almost universally despised. Democrats obviously hate it, and Republicans also hate it, but for different reasons. They don't care that it's like gutting, you know, programs and whole agencies and that we're all gonna die. They don't like it because it raises the deficit anywhere from $3 to $5 trillion, right? And so it takes about 4 or 5 days. And then Elon tweets. He's like, I can't stand it anymore. I cannot stand it anymore. This bill is a disgusting abomination. And everybody in the House that voted for it, you know you did wrong, right? And Trump said nothing. I was like, did he find God or something? Like what is happening? This is not the dude we know. He attacks those who attack him. And he's finally asked about it. He's asked about it in a press conference, and they tell him exactly what Elon said. He's like, you know, I'm really disappointed with Elon. He knew the bill. He knew it better than some of the people that voted on it. You know, he knew this bill, and he knew it was going to be cutting, you know, his electric vehicle credits like that. Maybe that's what he's upset about. I have no idea. But in case you don't remember, I was very nice to him. That dude showed up with a black eye. I didn't say anything. Because he did. Elon showed up for his last day of work, high and with a black eye that Trump just fully let go. He didn't point at it, didn't motion to it, nothing. Was very chill about the black eye. And then, you know, in the Oval Office, these are some of, not all, but some of the top journalists in America. Obviously, they have questions for Elon of what his plans are. Now that he's leaving Doge, he's going to spend all his time on his companies. They have plans to ask Trump questions about what he's going to do with Doge now that Elon is gone. What's the future of it, right? But these top journalists, the first question that I at least saw them ask was, what's wrong with your eye? Like that's... Nobody gonna say nothing? Like his eye. And then Elon was like, "Oh, it's actually like a funny story. I asked my 5-year-old, you know, my 5-year-old little ex. I told him to punch me with Ralph Hussein. I told him to punch me, and he punched me. I got a black eye. It was actually, you know, he's strong for a 5-year-old. It's kind of funny." Elon said he had a black eye because his 5-year-old punched him. That's a crackhead story if I ever heard one. That is a full crackhead lie. You must have the most synthetic skin known to man if this 5-year-old is out here dodging and giving black eyes. Oh. And so Trump was like, look, maybe we'll go on to have a great relationship. Maybe we won't, because that's the thing. People come in here with us, they like being here, and then when it's time to go, they either embrace it or they lose their minds. You can tell who broke up with who by how people move after a breakup. You know what I mean? Like, because while Trump is talking, Elon is tweeting. He's tweeting, and it's a lot. This dude goes all the way back to Trump's old tweets from like 2013, 2015, where he's like, I can't believe what they're doing with the spending bill. This is such irresponsible spending. If you have this much of a deficit, you won't have a country. And he's going back and showing all these old tweets, and he's quote tweeting them like wise words. Once again, you can tell who broke up with who, because for you to scroll back to 2013, you hurt. You are mad. You know how much his thumbs must be exhausted. 2013 tweets. Trump was tweeting 272 times a day, and he made it all the way back to 2013, which means he read them all. He hurt. So he hitting up with the 2013, this you text, like, that's crazy. That was insane. And he keeps tweeting. He's getting madder and madder. I don't even know what's happening in the background, but he is tweeting himself down a tunnel because every time he tweets, Tesla stock drops by like $13 billion. It's just going down and down and down and down. And he's tweeting up a storm, right? He even tweets out, he's like, you wouldn't have won without me. Okay, if it hadn't been for me, Republicans wouldn't have won the House. The Dems would be in the House. The Dems would have the White House, and you'd have a slim majority in the Senate. You ungrateful. Keeps tweeting, getting more and more upset. I don't know what's happening in the background, but this man is getting more and more pissed off. He even tweets, every single one of you Republican senators who votes for this bill will be voted out next term, all right? I will put money behind it, okay? He over here, honestly, Elon over here talking like he won the people or something. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? What do you mean, we, dog? Like, make me uncomfortable. But he says it, and then he said, oh, he's getting madder and madder and madder. And then he tweets out threatening Republicans specifically. He's like, look, here's the deal. Trump's gonna be the president for 3.5 more years. I'm gonna be around for 40. That must have sent chills down your spine if you were a Republican senator, any Congress. But Trump is going to be president for 3.5 more years. I'll be around for 40. You could hear the threat in it when you read it. Trump is going to be president 3.5 more years. I will be around for 40. And I was sitting in my room like, not on crack. Like, not on crack. Like, that's not, you must not know what crack is. Like, that's not nutritious at all. The crack is not good for you. You should not have crack. Be around for 40. All right. Oh, it's insane. And then Trump finally tweets. He's had enough, and you can tell he's had enough because we know the type of man Trump is. We know the type of figure he is, the type of president he is. He's had enough of this, and he's been holding back. He's been very nice to Elon. I'm sure in his head he was like, I've been very, very nice to this dude. Elon acts and moves like he snuck into a body. And Trump didn't say anything. Trump is over here like, I didn't mention the jumping, the laughing, anything. This man blew crack smoke on my shoulder, and I was very nice to him. And so then Trump tweets out, he's like, hey, yo, one of the easiest ways for us to save billions and billions and billions of dollars is just get rid of all of Musk's government contracts. That would do it quick. And then Democrats were like, do you mean it? Or like, are you just mad or you mean it? All right, I was just asking. Okay. And then Elon tweets, Elon tweets this clip that is him and Trump in front of a Tesla in front of the White House, and the quote for the tweet just says, "Remember when?" I was like, oh, he hurt. Oh, he must be sick right now. I've been broken up with most of my life, but I've never hit somebody with a "remember when." So crazy. Remember when? And then Musk tweets again. He's like, hey, since Trump wants to threaten my government contracts, how about SpaceX just goes ahead and disassembles Dragon whatever ship right now? And that would be all well and good, except there are 4 astronauts in the International Space Station right now that are probably floating like, what did we do? Like, that's... I'm not in this at all. Because they're mad, furious, going at each other, you know? And then, I don't know what pulls the trigger, you know? Trump tweeted one more time, and it still felt very reserved. It felt very nice. He was like, look, I don't care if Elon turns against me. I want the big, beautiful bill passed. He could just deal with it. Let's get this legislation done, right? And then Elon tweets out, all right, time to drop the big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they haven't come out yet. Have a nice day, DJT. You can tell who broke up with who, because the person that gets broken up with is the one that tries to ruin your life and tells you have a nice day in like the same breath. Oh, that's crazy. That's gonna be a hard one to dig yourself out of, because Epstein is like the burying ground. It is the conspiracy 101, right? So many people had podcasts, had hours of content going over Epstein, talking about who might be involved, who's in the Epstein files, who's in the Epstein log, his little black book, all that stuff, going over and over and over it, getting people really feverish over it. And then some of those same people, because of who they are and because who they're connected to, they get in office. They get into government office through Trump, right? That was a mistake, because even the hardcore conspiracy theorists knew. When Elon tweeted that out, Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they haven't come out yet. Almost right underneath is Alex Jones saying, God help us all. Elon done got Alex Jones press. Because where do you go from here truly, you know? Where do you go? Because those same people who were talking about, if they just let me in a room full of files, I'd find the Epstein files in 5 minutes. Just let me in the room. And now you're in the FBI. And so when people ask you, what's up? And you're like, actually, it's nothing. Like, don't worry about it. Nothing happened. Just go back to what you were doing. It's not. That does not sound real. I'm not saying anything else is even going on. I'm saying what you have stoked makes it impossible to stomp out. There will never be enough information coming out. There will never be enough stuff uncovered. There'll never be enough files released. You know, they tried initially. They tried. They were like, hey, we're releasing the Epstein file. They even made it like, you know, like a Fox News event. Epstein files coming out 9 p.m. tonight, right? And when they released it to a lot of these like blue check conspiracy theorists, Twitter influence. I don't even know what it's called, but they released it to them. And those people were on fire. Those people were pissed. Because when they actually opened it and they read it, because they meant it. These are true believers, by the way. These aren't people that are like part of the grift. They're reading it and they realize that everything in these things has already been released already. There's no new information in these things. In fact, they did such a bad job of trying to make it look real that they redacted stuff that was already public. And that was, for that conspiracy theory group, very weird. That was very, very weird. You know? And so that was already strike one. And now Elon's saying this, that's strike two. Because it's not like that's new information. We knew that Trump was involved with Epstein. There's literally video of them partying together and stuff like that, like on MSNBC from 1992. Like, that's not news or anything. But when you're a conspiracy theorist and nothing is enough, nothing is enough. You know? And so then in the background, people are trying to chill this thing out. There are White House aides, there's Elon's assistants trying to get these two to mediate, not make it any worse than it is right now. You know? And as of the time I'm talking, there's a lot of stuff that Elon's taken down, like tweets that he took down. And even Trump is trying to be very nice to Elon. They asked him his first interview since all this happened. And he's like, look, I don't know. I'm just trying to run the country. I wish him well and everything. I don't know anything about his drug habit and him being a full-on crackhead. That's not any of my business, right? So publicly, he's putting on a very good face. He's trying to be very professional, very presidential. And apparently, rumor has it, privately, he is calling everybody he knows, like, you know you're a crackhead, right? Like, no, he blew the smoke right on my back. I had to get my suit cleaned. And look, I'm not saying that this is the end of either of them. I don't know if they'll reconcile. I don't think that's even possible. I just know it's the first time that I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people, watching two people go at it like fight, 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 fight. Yo, Detroit, y'all been amazing. Thank you so much.
When I